on top of it, the Chiefs were at home all week long. It's not as if that it was a regular Super Bowl where they came out on the Sunday before, the Monday before, and then had to stay in a hotel and practice at a facility not their own all week. No, they stayed in their own houses, and they had their own facilities. Up until they arrived for a game on Saturday. It was like a road game, just a regular road game. That was our point. And Michael's counterpoint, which he made quite forcefully, and again, with the use of cannons that he absolutely nailed that moment when he heard the cannons. I jumped, and he just jumped right into more action. And his point was that, it's a huge advantage for the Bucs because this is home territory for the Buccaneers. And the last thing they were going to do is lose a Super Bowl on it. Last thing they were going to do is spend the rest of their days at a home game. Week 2, week 5, week 9, week 16. If they're so fortunate, any playoff weekend. Last thing they're going to do is step on that turf and know in the back of their heads that they lost the Super Bowl on it. That there was no way in his world, his mind, if he was in this situation, that they would ever lose a game like that. And the Bucs played exactly like they had that mentality. And as he texted all of us, as Devin White picked off Mahomes, I think White's words, you could read his lips, not in our house. He was spot on that one. I whiffed on that. I totally whiffed on that. I thought, what's the big deal? That was a big deal. That was a big, huge deal that they were not going to lose that game on that turf. Because they're not going to, for the rest of their days, stroll on their home turf and feel like they don't belong.
Defend it. Yeah.
They didn't defend it.
Yeah.
I missed on that one. But him sitting here like, oh, he knew all along. Oh, come on. Come on.
I also think some of the actions in the first time when they played each other, you saw Antoine Winfield Jr. get right in Tyreek Hill's face last night with the deuces.
Right, I know he got flagged for it because that's what Tyreek did to him in Week 12.
Absolutely.
I don't blame him for that at all.
I think that rubbed everybody the wrong way, and they wanted some payback.
How did I miss it? I mean, he got right in Tyreek Hill's face.
Right in his face.
It's not hard that you missed it, though. I mean, the Chiefs were rolling. Like,
they were rolling.
You shouldn't feel bad about picking them.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, they lost one game this year. I mean, I know they sat out Week 17.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
But they lost one game. They were an offensive juggernaut.
So the last 3 years, the Chiefs have lost, 5 games maybe or something like that?
That was the worst loss of Patrick Mahomes'
life.
Yeah.
Life.
He lost a college game like
66-10, I saw. Yeah. That was probably a bad day. But not like this.
Not like this. Not on the Super Bowl.
That's where you got to win.
The refs did that, though, guys. The refs were the one who made him run around like a Benny Hill.
Let me just say this. The refs did not help matters early in the game when it was 3-0 and it was then 7-3. And I honestly thought that 15-yard penalties are huge momentum swingers. Huge. And if you are going to get somebody for shoving another guy after the whistle, you better make sure that that's not the second guy in. And you better make sure that it does merit the flag coming out in the Super Bowl.
The second guy always gets caught.
But it's ridiculous. It didn't even look like one of those things like, this is really chippy, we better keep this under control. I hated that flag. And then when I saw the pass interference on Mike Evans, as the ball wasn't even anywhere near there, and I don't think it prevented the play from at all unfolding the way that it did. It's just like, what are we doing here?
That's not such an egregious call, though, Rich.
Yes, it was. It took an interception away.
But Chris, we talked earlier. You agreed he tripped. He hit him.
He tripped him. I mean, Gene Steratore came on and said the same thing. He didn't do it on purpose,
but
you don't know if Evans is going to lay out. You don't know how that's going to affect the pass, but he tripped.
The interception?
No, the play to Mike Evans.
I'm not Mike Evans. It got called for the. No,
you're talking about the hold?
I'm talking about the hold that took away the interception. I thought that was really a tight call. Too tight for the Super Bowl for my liking. 44204-RICH is the number to dial. Chris Brockman's news update and more.
Yeah, you might be right. The refs might have been a little tight. Because those
things do affect the beginning, but then there's still more. Hold on a second. There's still more football to be played.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs still did have the golden opportunity.
Yeah.
And the golden opportunity is score at the end of the first half and then score at the beginning of the second half. It was all set up for them. It is what we know, Brady's bread and butter. The Brady-Belichick Patriots would defer the kickoff specifically to do this. Score on either side of halftime with touchdowns and take the game over. And that's all she wrote. And the Chiefs, despite all that we're talking about with these penalties, the Chiefs, despite all that we're talking about with their inability to score in the red zone in the first half, had an opportunity in the red zone again right before halftime. And Andy Reid called some timeout on third down that stopped the clock. And then when they didn't score a touchdown, Brady had too much time left. You don't leave him with any time left. You don't leave him with a split second left. You cannot open that door. And so the Chiefs wound up with just 3. The Bucs score right before halftime again. And then the Chiefs come out second half and settle for 3. That's your Super Bowl. So you have to play better than the refs. And I know that the refs had some pass interference calls that did lead to that touchdown right before halftime. I get it. But then don't leave any time for Brady to draw flags like that. Take it down to halftime with a touchdown. That's it. Then you watch the Weeknd go through his maze, and then you come out and you score another touchdown. If you want to win Super Bowl 55 on Tom Brady's turf, when he's clearly on point, to the point that he's found Gronk twice already. That's the way you have to handle your business, and the Chiefs did not. So, yes, play better than the ref, but still, I thought there were 2 very questionable, unfortunate, tight calls that went against the Chiefs in a first half with 8 flags. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.